Oh, I'm so excited to talk about MILFs.
We're not talking about MILFs.
Oh, no.
We are talking about moms.
Okay, let's talk about moms.
Throwback starts right now.
And then the rabbit says, how about that schnitzel? Well,
What? There's no punchline.
that is the punchline.
Oh, Lorelai. I know I got excited too, but then that kind of caught me off guard.
Oh my God! Lorelai Gilmore was the perfect TV mom.
The pinnacle of mother.
I always wanted a relationship with my mom like Lorelai and Rory.
I wish Lorelai Gilmore was my mom.
I love Gilmore.
Lorelai Gilmore is my mother. And she wasn't trying to be like a cool mom. Like she was still
No, she
like
just
laying
was
down
a
the
cool
law
mom.
and she just
It just happened.
was. I love Lorelai.
Yeah.
She's the mom that made all the real moms look bad. It didn't matter how good of a mom you were.
I'm jealous of that too because I saw this psychic once and she told me that I'm gonna have 9 sons. So I know that's just never in my future.
She is like young, she's hip, she gets it.
I would want Lorelai Gilmore to feed me and my friends popcorn at a sleepover, and I wouldn't even be weirded out. She was literally one of the friends.
My mom wasn't on board with me wanting that friendship relationship with her, so I'd like try to like open up and be like, oh boy, sex, and my mom would just be like, you're going to therapy.
She cared so much. She would like take your tampon out if you needed her to, and it wouldn't be weird.
But I still love the show. And they talked really fast. I'm sure that I would get a lot more done because I would be talking like this all the time.
Definitely don't tell Michael you kissed Raphael.
About the invitation, Mom.
I'm just saying, nothing good can come of it.
Oh, okay, that's Raphael. Enough.
The best mom ever, and a mother who was a virgin. And also, she's just got no character flaws. She's just always centered and grounded, and she makes great decisions, and she's constantly having to pick between 2 hot men.
She's like the normal girl who like you want to talk to about things, and if that was your mom, and if she never actually had sex with your dad, what a cocktail party opener. It's fantastic.
I'm so honored that Springfield has been chosen to host all these upscale chain stores. I guess this makes us yuppies, huh, homie?
I'm really more of a slacker.
Marge Simpson was the You know why? Because she could hide stuff in her hair. Cigarettes, booze, greatest mom ever.
Marge Simpson could probably pass as my mom today. Both cartoons, both really appreciate big hair.
Also, her kids never aged. What's in her DNA?
I was never allowed to watch The Simpsons. My mom said that satire isn't good for a developing brain.
Life isn't ideal for Marge Simpson because she has a drunk for a husband, an ass for a son, and they're trying to do this all on one salary of a guy that doesn't even go to work every day.
Now joke over.
Yeah, fun is fun, but you know you can carry joking too far.
Oh, Carol Brady had it together.
The iconic TV mom.
Here's the story of a lovely lady
who had 3 little girls.
Carol Brady kind of felt like my night mom because I would watch the Brady Bunch at night after my mom went to bed and I would just be like, what's it like to have a mom with a great haircut?
If Carol Brady was my mom, I would have very shiny hair. Like Marsha was always brushing that shit. No one has time for that.
If Miss Carol Brady was my mom, I would have a potted rosemary plant outside my door so that every time I snuck into the house after a high school party, I could rub the rosemary all over me and she couldn't smell all my mistakes.
She obviously had a lot of sex, so that's cool. I feel like her and Mike were swingers too. Yeah, she could be my mom.
It's preschool, don't overthink it. My kids didn't go to Billingsley, and they are fine. I have to go.
I love Claire Dunphy. Dunphy? I love Claire Dunphy.
She's so beautiful.
And yet, she wears khakis and a sweater in every episode.
Claire Dunphy proves the point that whether you're a good mom or a bad mom or a drunk mom or a sober mom, as long as you're hot, doesn't matter.
If Claire was my mom, man, I would probably be real f***ed up. She's so overbearing that all her kids are sick of her. She just wants to be like this cool mom, but she's not because she's still a mom.
I also just watched an episode recently and she's like trying to be super mom, but I like her because she's like normal and like messes up.
Yeah, if Claire Dunphy was my mom, I'd probably have a lot more tattoos. I feel like Claire Dunphy's the type of mom who wants to be super cool and would go out with me to get a tattoo no matter how many times I suggested it.
I just like it because in the show specifically, every time she does something wrong, she like makes eye contact with the camera and it's like, oh, why did I do that? And I'm like, oh my God, that's how I feel every day of my entire life.
I'm going to close my eyes, and when I open them, there had better be a cigarette between these 2 fingers. Come on, people, hop 2. Thank you. Light.
Kitty Forman. Fun fact, that actress was also on Friends. Anyone remember that?
I loved Kitty because she's the perfect combo of adorable and a hot mess.
God, if she was my mom, I feel like I would have a lot more sex, right?
She just seemed kind of ideal to have as a mom.
Stuff was going down in that basement that she didn't know about or care about.
She was just kind of like a walking clueless thought bubble, which I kind of loved. And I always thought like, you know what, maybe I would do drugs if my mom didn't know what drugs were.
The one thing I learned from Kitty is that it's okay to drink all day long if you're a housewife. So that's my plan.
I cannot remember when I had a sponge cake quite so moist.
I found the tea rather moist as well.
Oh, R.I.P. She's dead.
I would have died growing up if Sophia from the Golden Girls was my mother.
Somehow Sophia from the Golden Girls was the coolest of all of them. You could tell she's the kind of bitch that would cheat at poker, you know? Like, she was just cool.
Sophia was such a badass. She was so sassy. She didn't take anybody's crap.
I was gonna say, I've never watched it, but the few clips I have seen, they're all really sassy.
She told it like it was. She always walked around with this mysterious pocketbook. You never knew what was in there. Booze, candy, no one knows.
Fun fact, Sophia on Golden Girls played B. Arthur's mother when in fact she was younger than B. Arthur. Huh. TV.
She reminds me of the SpongeBob clip when
oh no!
You know what I'm talking about. When they're selling chocolate and he's like, oh, let me get my mom. She's like a worm.
Okay. The hair. Identity crisis, new start. I get it. More importantly, the plants. The plants need to grow somewhere else, out of this house.
Oh yeah, Nancy Botwin. Haven't thought about Nancy Botwin in a hot minute.
She was a mom that sold drugs, which is different than my mom who just does drugs.
This is definitely the most f***ed up mother on television. Although her husband died, she had to provide for her family and she was doing the best she could and it all exploded.
If she was my mom, I would just be high all the time. She wasn't a great mom, but she was a great drug dealer. You gotta respect that.
A lot of people judge Nancy for being a drug dealer, but I admire a woman who's an entrepreneur.
I personally wouldn't get involved with drugs because they scare me and there's guns. I'd do something more safe like prostituting, but to each their own.
Don't spend the rest of your time in high school hung up on Maddie. You need to focus on yourself and your own needs. I mean, that's how I cope with your father.
Lacey Hamilton from Awkward. I super identify with Lacey Hamilton because she's the one who wrote her daughter that letter where, like, I would kill myself.
It was like Regina George as a mom, basically.
Oh, that's a good reference.
That's what, yeah.
That's the kind of passive nudging that I want to do with my kid because I don't want to be actively getting my hands dirty and being like, you look sad. But I wouldn't mind dropping a subtle hint where it's like, you're so bland, you should die.
What if Kimberly's party wasn't within walking distance? Would you have driven?
Okay, I wouldn't drink and drive. I'm not a moron.
You peed on a cop car.
Amy Matthews.
I liked her a lot. I liked her.
What a good mom. She was just like a wholesome mom.
No wonder she was the perfect mom, because she gave birth to a perfect human.
Being Corey Matthews' mom, she really didn't have to do anything. Mr. Feeney did all of the parenting.
She's the type of mom that you knew could make a really good roasted chicken while her husband fixed the dishwasher. It was like an all-American family.
If one piece of candy gets past you and into the packing room unwrapped, you're fired.
I love Lucy, clearly.
Lucille Ball is the most classic mom of all time.
Badass. She's funny, she's smart, she's quirky, she did whatever she wanted.
Lucy's the best mom because she's constantly making messes.
What a nutcase. I would never want Lucille Ball to be my mom. I'd want her to be like my cool aunt that like I tried weed with one time, but never would I ever want her to be my mom.
She was the coolest, funniest, craziest mother, always scheming.
She's a close tie for first for best mom between Lorelai Gilmore and Lucille Ball. Mostly because you probably just have fun all day and not learn anything. I think it'd be cool.
I can't believe you're not talking about Mrs. Summers, Buffy Summers' mom. If you want to talk about the all-time quintessential TV mom, it's Mrs. Summers. After her daughter burnt down the gymnasium at the high school she went to, she threw away an entire life she had built and moved to Sunnydale to start fresh over for her daughter. That's the type of momming I want to talk about.
Those are some of our favorite TV moms, but who shaped your life as a child? Please let us know in the comments section.
Click to the left to keep getting nostalgic while we talk about unforgettable graduation moments, or click right. We're talking about the most anticipated summer movies on Debatable. And remember to subscribe.